Hi, this is Kim speaking from 10 Sigma. Welcome to episode 67 of Transition Tuesday. Today I will be talking about working with employers to find job opportunities and work experiences for students with disabilities. This was a topic suggestion from Pamela from Ohio. Right now I'm going to switch over to a short slide presentation to share some information. This video will discuss preparing students to work, qualities of school-to-work programs, and finally, different ways to find job opportunities for students with disabilities. The transition from youth to adulthood is challenging for almost every young person. This is particularly true for young people with disabilities. Specifically, for students with disabilities, obtaining and maintaining employment can be difficult. Urban, suburban, and rural communities each face unique challenges to help students with special needs find employment. Finding job opportunities for students with disabilities takes patience, time, and effort. And there is no quick fix to help students find jobs, but it's not impossible. Before students with disabilities can obtain employment, they must be prepared to work. First, educate them about child labor laws. Help them to learn about their disability and what they should and should not disclose to an employer. Work with them to develop resumes which showcase their strengths and abilities. Prepare them to be resilient in their job search. Help develop structured school-to-work programs for students to access, and have realistic discussions about the jobs they can do. Encourage them to be honest about their abilities. Before I get into ways to find job opportunities for students with disabilities, it's important to touch on quality school-to-work programs that support students in finding employment. According to the National Center on Secondary Education and Transition at the University of Minnesota, quality school programs that support students in finding employment should have clear goals, clear roles and responsibility for worksite supervisors, mentors, teachers, support personnel, and other partners, training plans, links between students, schools, and employers, on-the-job learning, a range of work-based learning opportunities, specific mentors at the work sites, clear expectations and feedback to assess progress toward the program's goals, assessments to identify skills, interests, and support needs at the work sites, reinforcement of work-based learning outside of work, for example, working on being organized in the classroom, and appropriate academic, social, and administrative support for students, employers, and all partners. Let's now get into ways to find job opportunities for students with disabilities. The best way to find job opportunities is through personal contacts. Talk to everyone about job opportunities. Places where you shop, the bank, dine, get a haircut, where you go to the movies, buy garden supplies, worship, do business, or get a cup of coffee, and ask them if there are any openings. Create cards with contact information to leave at businesses about possible openings they may have. Look for businesses with diverse employees. Support them and tell them that you appreciate their inclusivity. One way is to promote their business, for example, by including them in school flyers, programs, etc. Other ways for finding job opportunities include approaching community business organizations. Present information about the benefits of employing people with disabilities at meetings where business leaders attend. Some examples of this include the Rotary Club, Kiwanis, Chamber of Commerce, meetup groups, lean-in circles. You can give specific ways of how they can help and how you will help them. For example, you could say to them, you could help a youth with disabilities by employing him or her for 10 hours a week to help stock shelves at your grocery store. In return, we will feature your store in our special education transition newsletter, which is sent out to 50 families. Or something like, our staff and students would love to help at your pancake breakfast. Follow up your initial presentations with materials highlighting successful partnerships. You could also approach new businesses in the community with welcome baskets and include samples of things students make, cards, stationery, or name plaques to highlight their abilities. Other ways to find job opportunities for students with disabilities include talking to your school administration. Check to see if students could work at jobs around the school. Examples would be help with shredding, work in the school store, and simple landscaping chores. Look into volunteer opportunities in the community. Volunteering could possibly be a test run for employment. Ask businesses and organizations about having student volunteers. And lastly, connect with state, county, and city agencies. See if the city offers youth employment opportunities. Talk to the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation. And check to see if your state has initiatives for hiring people with disabilities. Another important way to find job opportunities for students is to establish partnerships. Host yearly job fairs to encourage connections between potential employers, students, and families. Again, promote businesses who employ students with disabilities. Positive publicity can be an incentive. Recognize the businesses at school functions, send thank yous, and feature them in your newsletters. When establishing these partnerships, anticipate potential barriers and accommodations. Some examples to think about are transportation for the student to and from the job, if there are accommodations needed if the student is an English language learner, and whether or not there is wheelchair access. Once you've established a partnership with a business, continue to foster its growth. Recognize that parents or guardians will usually be involved. Help parents understand their role in their child's employment experience. Encourage parents to help their child be as independent as possible on the job. Be prepared to respond if a student is not successful at a job. It's important to try to intervene early. Check in with the employer to get feedback about what they're looking for, what is working, and what needs to change. Clarify expectations for both the employer and the student. Assess and address the student's needs. You might need to teach the specific skill that the employer wants. You may need to teach problem-solving skills, or you may need to provide more support, like a mentor, job coach, or volunteer to help the student. Here are some main points that help sum up the information provided in this video. Helping students with disabilities find employment can be challenging. Being proactive and having a structured school-to-work program in place helps the process. Establishing connections and networks with employers can help students, families, schools, and the community. Connecting with employers involves outreach. Members of the community need education about how people with disabilities can contribute to the workforce. Share information. Showcase your students' employment successes and make sure you respond to unsuccessful situations. And above all, keep trying to establish those partnerships and find employment for students with disabilities. For today's bonus, I'll be sending you links to resources and information on helping students with disabilities find employment.
Thank you for watching the video. I hope you use this information to help your students. Be sure to check your email for the bonus we just sent over. If this is the first time you've ever seen an episode of Transition Tuesday, click the link below to receive the bonus. Be sure to like and share the video and leave a comment or suggestion for a future episode of Transition Tuesday. Have a great week. See you next Tuesday.